So what I wanted to do, and I kind of mentioned this, I wanted to cover a few things without doing any editing. So doing it live will prevent me from doing any editing that weren't really enough to do a video over specifically, but I still wanted to talk about. So Insane in the Rain Music had an interesting comment about choices of video games to do music covers from. And so I wanted to do a bit of analysis based off of that. And then I also wanted to use a tool from Morningfame that's really interesting because it assists people who do channel reviews. Now, I don't claim to do any channel reviews, but since it's a live stream, maybe I can do a few channel reviews. And I mean, I'm not like being paid by Morningfame or anyone, but the tool that I'm going to use is a limited version of a tool that you can get if you sign up for Morningfame yourself. And when I get into it, I'll kind of show you how that works. So the first thing that I want to do is Insane in the Rain Music tweeted saying that he is thinking about imposing a self-restriction to only cover songs from games that he's played because those videos always seem to turn out the best. And then there are several people who commented things like that. So, Ro Panuganti or Poltergeisty, I'm pretty sure he used that same name last year. I'm not going to judge. He said that this is probably a good way to narrow down, but other people like Eric Esparza think that it's not a good idea because, of course, some people may not have played good games with good music from, when they were a little kid or whatever. And then I said, I don't think I'd have been able to do the covers that I've done if I followed that rule. And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to analyze what kind of covers have I done and which games have I played versus which games haven't I. So I'm just going to go into this chat and then say, I've been doing pretty well. So what I did was, since I'm a huge fat nerd, was I came into my YouTube watch time analytics. And again, if you watch my 2,000 subscribers video, I've lost video, haven't I? Okay, I've definitely lost the little video of me. So there's one thing is, you lost video of my face, didn't you? This is also a test because I'm pretty sure that Logitech is having some issue where it automatically shuts down. And now I'll use this as evidence to show that it did it right here. But we don't really actually need my face, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, so what I've done, and let me just see. Yes, you lost video. Okay, so whatever. It's Logitech. I'm going to send it to them. They need to fix that. So anyways, what I've done here is, if you watch my 2,000 subscribers video, you'll notice that I took a report of my watch time data since June 28th, 2016, just to see who's been watching my videos since I hit 1,000 subscribers. Well, I added a couple more columns here. Added one for composers, and I added one for, see, this is annoying since the text is white, so let me just change that. One for composer and one for if I've played the game that it's come from. So I wanted to see two things. I wanted to see which composers have I done the most of and which composers have been the most successful for me in terms of watch time. And then I've also done how many covers that I've done from games that I've actually played versus games that I haven't. So let me just go back in there. Yeah, you can't see me, sorry. But this is, this would be enough. So the first thing was, I'm going to go into the one by composers, because if you haven't already watched my latest video, please do. That's Hive Swap's Final Spice. And that is composed by Toby Fox and James Roach for Hive Swap. And when I, heard this song, I was like, this is pretty interesting. It doesn't necessarily fit like all the other music. And I asked James, all the music in the game, it looks like it's jointly composed by you two, but is that true? Did all of you jointly compose them, or are some songs yours and some songs Toby's? How does that work? And he said, if you watch the video, you'll find exactly what he says, so I don't need to say it. But needless to say, Final Spice is mostly a Toby Fox piece, and it's very clear. So I just did an analysis because I really liked the song, and I thought, what's the chance that it's a Toby Fox song? And I just did analysis, and I have done 9 songs by Toby, and this is not really, complete, because there's actually another line here for Toby and James, right? So I've done 11 songs by Toby, basically. But if you look in terms of watch time, which is what it's sorted by, I've definitely gotten the most watch time minutes from Toby Fox. So my audience loves Toby Fox. And if we drill down into that, we would see that the reason that is because everyone loves Undertale. And then we have a couple of Homestucks. As mentioned, the Hive Swap songs that I haven't done won't appear in that view because they are sourced to both Toby and James there. Okay, so let me delete that because that's not important anymore. The next highest is Jun Ishikawa. And so I thought I only have 2 videos for that. And it's the second highest in terms of watch time. What's the deal with that? And of course, if you watch my 2000 subscribers video, Kirby, King DDD is super popular. And that's the composer there. So way to go. Then we have more Homestuck. We have Yoko Shimomura for Final Fantasy 15 and also for the Legend of Mana. Let me just check through here. Super Mario RPG, Legend of Mana, Kingdom Hearts 2, Legend of Mana, and then Final Fantasy 15. And you'll see that by and large, the traffic is coming from Final Fantasy 15. Somebody go delete that. And then we have Junichi Masuda, who, just because I've done so many Pokemon covers, therefore that is there. And then we have Disaster Piece for Fez and, let me just check. I think it's Fez and Hyper Light Drifter. Yep, there we go. And it kind of goes on from there. So that was the first part that I wanted to do. Yeah, Logitech is garbage and turns off after 30 seconds. Let me do this. Let me do this because I can go into OBS and then say instead just to have the monitor. Can I do that? No, I need to do just the desktop. There we go. So that, this Logitech is clearly not going to work out. So I'll just have the desktop. Okie dokie. So then the next thing that I wanted to do, no, we have some fun people here. Thanks everyone for joining. So I wanted to say the reason I wanted to do this first section and point out Toby Fox is because I have a new cover for all of you Toby Fox lovers, and statistically, most of you are Toby Fox lovers. Hive Swap, Final Spice. Check out my channel, watch it, leave a comment, etc. The one thing I'll say about this video is when I was rendering, I didn't build the open captions into the video. So I still have the closed captions and they're available if you turn on the closed captions, but you won't see the text right in the video. So, whatever. The second thing I wanted to do was recently I added if I've played the game from which the song comes from, because insaneintherainmusic had a tweet saying that he was thinking about imposing a self-restriction on cover songs from games that he's played. And I said, this would not work for me because, I never play any games. I'm a scrub gamer. If Cuphead made a skip boss battle option, I would probably have to click it once or twice. I'm just saying, I'm a scrub, whatever. So I did if I've played the games. And I mean, I was like, go through, it's kind of embarrassing. Let me just remove all the NAs because those are things that weren't even covers. And you can see like my top in terms of traffic source, top cover, Kirby King DDD's theme. I have to say, I did not play Triple Deluxe. And so I do not have that version. I had to, deal with that. So whatever. And so before I embarrass myself by just pointing out how many of these games I haven't played, I'm just going to go ahead and jump into this table that says played. And I've just summarized in terms of the games I haven't played and the games I have. 22 of my 102 covers that have been viewed at least once since I reached 1,000 subscribers. 22 of them I have not played the game, and then 80 of them I have. So I actually have played more games than I thought, which is what, so first of all, duplicates are included here. So for example, I have like a cajillion Undertale covers, and that would each of those videos would count as one. I probably should make another column for the game title so I could like exclude duplicates, but I didn't do that. So whatever. Anyways, so that was the first part. I'm interested in knowing for any other cover artists if you routinely play song covers from games that you've never played the game to. Grizzly Bear. Definitely check out my Hive Swap covers then. Hey, Doug. Just nerding out on analytics. Okay, so then the second thing that I wanted to do was, I got an email from the creator of Morningfame, and Morningfame, what Morningfame does is it is a service that summarizes analytics. So a lot of people like Doug almost never do analytics. Jackson's like, who the heck cares? Well, I'm sorry, not everyone can just have all this massive channel growth without caring. So some of us care about numbers. Some of us, it's our job to care about numbers. So anyways, what Morningfame does, if you get into this, is it summarizes information that you already have in a way that lets you look at a quick glance at what's happening on your channel. And what it does that I really like is the first three tabs, traction, strategy, and workshop, they are based on every Tuesday morning. And I think you can talk to Nico, the guy who does it, to change it if you don't like Tuesday. So instead of obsessing every day, this is just something that you worry about every week, basically. And so what it's going to do is it uses an analysis based off of comparing growth of views, watch time, etc., versus your other previous published 10 videos to see if you are doing anything special. And so if you're on a roll in terms of, for example, watch time, then it will give you more and more things like that. I have been working on making longer and longer videos because I had an issue, and I'm going to go into that page to show you. I had an issue where I was being limited in terms of I couldn't grow this watch time because my videos themselves weren't long enough for me to be able to do that. And so I've been trying to make longer covers to kind of compete with that. And then I'm going to show you where you can see that in the strategy tab. See this traction tab, this shows you based off of what your own videos are doing. But when you come over to the strategy tab, the way that what I really like about Morningfame is that it only gets better as more people sign on. Here, because so many people have signed on, what he can do is he can say, compared to 20 channels with a similar subscriber range, here is what you would see in terms of views, watch time, engagement, and subscribers. So I'm getting good amounts of engagements and good amounts of subscribers. I have lots of people who comment on my videos. I'm very fortunate for that. But you can see that my watch time is underperforming. And so what it'll do is it'll grade your videos based off of these different categories and then say what you shouldn't do instead. So people apparently really don't like my non-music videos, but they do like some of my music videos. And then you can go into this workshop to see stuff specific to that particular category. So for example, in watch time, it's saying that for the 20 channels that are registered in Morningfame that it's comparing me to, that the average is 3 minutes from subscribers, 2 minutes, 29 seconds from visitors, and the accumulated watch time. So that's video length times retention times views. That gives you the accumulated watch time is 1,800. My videos aren't anywhere near this number because like most of my covers don't even hit 3 minutes in length. So trying to get 3 minutes average from subscribers per video on any video is like impossible because that would be 100% or higher of my videos. So this is the one thing that I've talked with Nico and said, like, if it's possible to do this by the YouTube vertical. So for example, music channels are compared to other music channels. That would be really great. He's saying that it's something he'd like to do when there's more people signed up, but there's not enough people of every niche signed up currently for him to be able to do that. So I'm like, I mean, this is still pretty helpful. It just lets me know that in comparison to 20 other channels who are interested enough in analytics to sign up for this service, this is something I really need to work on. And it'll, of course, give you where you can improve certain things and tell you, none of my videos are good in terms of watch time. And it says, don't do these videos because they suck in terms of watch time. And then you can come to views and you can see I'm doing a little bit better at views, My engagement is just amazing. Thank you so much for that. And then gaining subscribers. The one thing I will say about this is YouTube hasn't updated its API. So Nico's numbers pull the old numbers. But if you go to your subscribers report here on your analytics, you will see that as of, let me expand this to being the last 90 days. 90 days and less than 90 days. And let me expand so you can see the multiple sources. You're going to see something very interesting. You're going to see that the YouTube watch page here, it is the red line here. It used to be much lower than the channel, and then it jumped up to be higher. And then they changed this channel and other. They split it out into multiple categories. So this channel is now green and it's now lower. What they did was YouTube is now better able of identifying when someone subscribed to you based off of a video. So for example, I think that if someone watched your video, then clicked on your channel, and then the next thing they did immediately was to subscribe, in the past, YouTube would say, "Oop, that's a subscription from the channel page." But now I think it's saying, well, clearly they subscribed because of that last video they watched, and now they're counting it there. So that's, again, something that is not in YouTube Morningfame. So Doug asked the very important question, does Morningfame cost money? And so here's what I have to say, guys. It has 1 month free, and then the price is, what is the price? Oh my gosh, I don't know what the price is. Let me see. Is this gonna show like my whatever? Hopefully not. Anyway, so like you can see my email, just whatever. Since I'm a founding member, I got, what is this, 32 for like, I think like a year, maybe. I don't know. I think it's for a year. Anyways, what you could do though is you can, oh, I could have just looked at this. Oh, that was dumb. Switch subscription plan. I don't want to do that. Anyways, so what, I know that if I invite someone, then there's like a discount or something like this. And plus you get 1 month free anyway, and you can like cancel without paying anything. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this in here. You don't have to sign, whatever. But you know, if you want to have easy access to analytics, there you go. Ooh, I'm probably showing some sort of secret streaming thing. Anyways, thanks for listening to the Final Spice cover. If there are any, there's a playlist actually. All of my Homestuck and HiveSwap covers are in one playlist. So it's not just Final Spice. This is the most recent one that I've done. Let's see. So let me look at the questions that have come since I did that. Doug doesn't do covers of games that he doesn't play. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I don't play a lot of games, so I wouldn't be able to do that. I have to. Would anyone? Oh, wow. Would anyone? Oh, okay. So I know why Jackson is saying that who the heck cares? The reason that, I mean, I guess, I think that what Carlos was trying to get at was I think it's for him to say that he can get more into the music and trying to arrange it to the best of his ability and have more fun if he's played the game. But I don't necessarily think that audience members are going to be the ones to make that call. So yeah, I can see that point. Like maybe it doesn't really even matter. Let's see. Why am I subscribed to you with notifications on? I don't know. I rarely ask people to click that notifications bell. So if you are subscribed to me with notification bell on, then that's on you. Let me read through more of these. Yeah, so Alex Heflin is now in the stream, and I have to tell you, Alex has been on my homepage for like the past ever, because he keeps on doing these West of Loathing covers that I keep on listening to. And I think I finally just shook him out of my homepage, but he's now going to get back into it because, see, and it doesn't even show the covers that I actually listen to. So that's kind of interesting, but I think he's going to get back into my homepage because I have like listened to his Misbehave in This Cave cover like several times. Like Alex, in the next 2 days, if you see one view from the United States that's like watching for like 16 minutes, that's me. Sorry for ruining your analytics or whatever. So yeah, that's him. So let's see. Doug definitely covered Doctor. Yes, and then definitely link me to it. Let's see. So that was the first two things I want to say. So I've kind of gone through, like, this is the detail that you get when you're actually subscribed in and it has access to your account and that sort of thing. There's one final thing that they can show you. They have this thing called view velocity that they can see, and this updates more than just every week. It's actually refreshed hourly. And what this does is it shows the views and the likes that your videos have gotten in the first 72 hours, and it compares them. So you can kind of see which videos are getting the most view velocity. This doesn't mean that a video won't succeed after that 72 hours, but it just lets you know which ones are the most successful. And so we can see here that I'm actually doing pretty well on this high swap final spice cover. It's already third. And so, in the next 72 hours, we'll see if it can maintain that. And the one thing I will say is I don't think I can sort it in terms of best to worst. So I kind of have to just look through and guess, what are the current ratings. So I know that King DDD is third currently. Cobalt Thief is fourth. Let me think about what could be first and second. I'm not gonna, first Green Greens, like duh, like it got 850 views in the first day. Like obviously these numbers are gonna be different for you if you're getting different amounts of traffic, but it's something interesting so you can know, should I be continue doing videos like this? So obviously a lot of my Kirby videos kind of have that, and a lot of my non-Kirby videos don't. And so that was how I was able to judge, like, how should I do that? So the thing I wanted to get into now is that I have a beta feature, Morningfame review. So a lot of people like reviewing channels on YouTube. And so what I wanted to do was, and since the Morningfame guy sent me this email, I wanted to compare my channel versus some other people's channels. So let me just load the analysis for me. And then let me load the analysis for who's this Insane in the Rain guy, and let's compare. So what this review will let you do is it kind of looks through and says, like, first, what is your upload schedule? And we can see for me that my upload schedule, well, it needs a little bit of work. I clearly do not have an upload schedule, and I do not apologize for that. I mean, YouTube would recommend that you should have an upload schedule, but I don't. Now, let's look at Insane in the Rain music, and we can see he is very good at scheduling on Saturdays, but he does have a couple of videos that were not released on Saturday. So I guess those are older videos. That's why it kind of has that. And he is good at doing all of his videos are in the music category, whereas I, like, this vlog here is in the people and blogs, and sometimes I have how-to videos on how to use YouTube and all that kind of stuff, and that'll be how-to and style, and then I have in music. So that's the first thing that'll allow you to do. Then what it does next is you can see thumbnails, because what YouTube recommends is that you have consistency in thumbnails. And so of course it's saying this, blah, 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 blah. And you can see that my thumbnails are all over the place. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Now, I've recently started doing, since I have the cover story, I've started doing this kind of magazine layout with the cover story, but I'm not sure exactly if that's communicating what I want it to communicate. People still ask me, oh, do your videos all have stories like this? And I'm kind of like, yes, that's kind of my deal. Like, but it's very tough to communicate that. Now, this is all in white. That's very good. But we know that YouTube has dark mode. Dark mode. Okay, so if I click this button, oh, look, it's dark mode. Ooh, amazing. Ooh. Okay, so that's not very that impressive. Then again, all of these thumbnails are at a large size, but depending on the device and where you're finding a thumbnail, it might be at a different size. So one thing I'm doing whenever I'm looking at people's thumbnails is I'll ask, what does it look like when it's at small size? Is it still readable? And this already does this for us. Now, I will say this third one is typically what you'll see in the, I guess, the home page and the subscriptions page and that sort of thing. This one is used limited, but it's not usually. So I'm usually not as worried if this is unreadable, but if this is not readable, then that's a problem. So for example, here, not readable. That's kind of a problem. Here is kind of readable. So, okay. So that's something I've been struggling with, is making sure that my thumbnails still communicate what they're actually about at all thumbnail sizes. And I'm still trying to work on that, but whatever. So then it'll do which thumbnail will you click, and it'll put in one of your thumbnails versus a bunch of other people's thumbnails. and you can highlight your own video if you didn't remember that was yours. Hopefully you're branding well enough so that you know which one's yours. And then you can show the titles. But generally, the idea is people will look at the thumbnails and they'll look at the one that, for example, has a face, and they'll look at the ones that has name or the good words that they're looking for, and then that's the one they'll click. So for example, mine doesn't have my face, so that would be kind of bad, and it'll go through like this. Like here, you could see that the people who want the actual original soundtrack are gonna go here. They might go here, maybe. They might go here. If they want the Synthesia, and then they'll go here, and then there's mine. So I don't know which one is most competitive there, but it's something to think about. And you can kind of go through here. This was just me advertising something for Lord Biff. You can see Lord Biff's version, or no, this is Banjo Guy's version. And one of these is Lord Biff's. One of these is Banjo Guy. Yeah, this is Lord Biff's. This is Banjo Guy Ollie. So now I got that straight. And we can go ahead and put titles if we wanted to. Yeah, Banjo Guy. Well, yeah, whatever. I don't know which is which. I know this is Lord Biff's sign. I'm not going to babble anymore. And then sometimes it just doesn't make sense because I didn't do a whole lot of tags and descriptions on my Choose Your Own Adventure, which is very minimalist. So it has a lot of unrelated videos there, but whatever. And then you can look at rankings. So this is something you can look at with TubeBuddy. You can look at it with vidIQ. You can look at it with pretty much any tool. But depending on the terms that you've put in, it'll give you rankings. And if it's not on the first page, it'll just say low. And then additionally, it will suggest, here are some terms that you didn't necessarily put in for your tags, but you might want to think about because you are ranking for them. So Homesick Sax cover. I'm probably not going to put that in for a Hive Swap cover, but it might be relevant. It might not be. So those are just some things there. And then there's strategy. Because this is available for all channels, it's not just available for people who are subscribed. It doesn't show all the information. It only shows publicly facing information like views and engagement, number of comments, things like that. So then, of course, if I wanted to invite this person whose channel I'm reviewing, it would have the link to do that. So let me just jump back into the chat to see a few other things. Let me see. Yep. Let's see. Do play Hive Swap, Doug. It's like 3 to 6 hours, depending on if you can find the loosest treat, which I struggled with, unfortunately, for quite some time. Yep. And then let me look through. Okay, so what I wanted to do first, before I jump into some people in the comments, because I do want to go through other people's channels. I wanted to show you, you've seen my channel review, and you see that mine doesn't really follow a lot of the rules that YouTube would say should be. But let's look at someone who we know is really killing it in terms of YouTube. insaneintherainmusic. So he has a consistent upload schedule. YouTube recommends consistent upload schedule. He is doing that. If we come to thumbnails, look at this. Every thumbnail is consistent. He even does by year. So each year changes the font or whatever. So that's pretty neat. If you scroll, if you size them down, oh, I can't see his sax anymore. That's kind of weird, but I can still see his me. So that's still on point. And so like, there may be some things where, depending on what he's trying to emphasize, if he's trying to emphasize his titles, then definitely that's still very visible at the small sizes, but these other details might only be visible at the larger sizes. And then if you look here, Wii Sports, definitely want to click on this guy. Like, well, why? I mean, I don't like, here's the thing that, I want to tell, for example, this person that, they probably have a pretty good video. They probably have a video that would be really good. But if I didn't look at the title, I would have no idea that this related to Wii Sports. This one, it has the wording, so I get that, and it has something related to the video. This one, is that even a cover? Like, okay, yeah. So, but with the Roblox, I guess these are. I don't play Roblox. I'm not 14, so I don't know. Maybe that's relevant. And so then, of course, if you want Synthesia, that's easily recognizable, but you don't know that that's a Wii Sports menu. So, there you go. And then here you have this that's pretty standard. And then as you go through, you know, Sukoji, of course, I'm going to know that Sukoji, like, I don't know who's doing this, but I know that it's going to be piano and synthesia, that sort of thing. Yeah, piano tutorial, piano, there you go. I don't know if this is going to be Rosalina from just the thumbnail, but I know there's going to be piano something. Whereas this kind of combines it all. I know it's going to be Carlos, and I know that it's going to be Comet Observatory. And if it's at a large enough size, I know it's going to be DJ Cutman as well. But, he's got to focus on himself. And then it kind of goes like this. So this is something that I think you can do this with Morningfame. What Morningfame will do is it'll send you an email whenever it does your 24-hour report for the view velocity, and it will show you with the other search results that you're competing against. So you can kind of evaluate, would you click on your theme? Would you click on your title, based on the thumbnail, or would you click on some of these other ones? So there we go for Carlos. And let me just look at this. This is going to be very depressing because mine is kind of like, low. But Carlos is like first, second, fourth, fifth. And then he has these other ones like okay, he didn't rank for that would be pretty crazy, but he didn't rank for so I guess, get good Carlos, and then you can rank for and then he has these other search terms that he could be ranking for. Like, he ranks 23rd for the word theme. Like, who does that? And then you can see here, this one ranks first for Insane in the Rain. And then it kind of goes down from there. He wasn't able to rank for the word in, so that's very unfortunate. And then here are a few other search terms that he could be including in his text if he wanted to. He's already ranking for them, so it doesn't have to do it, but there you go. And then you can kind of see that as you go on, and then you see strategy, AA, BA. Awesome. And if I wanted to invite him, I could send him this link, but I'm not going to. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to go, man, Alex, get out of my life. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just randomly look at people's channels who are in there. So let me just go through, we should have enough people that I should be able to do that. I'm going to go ahead and click on Doug's channel here. And I'm not even going to open his channel because I can do it all from in here. So what I do is I just, click the channel link, analyze channel. It goes through, and it might take a while. I hope it doesn't take too long. While we're waiting, let me just go ahead and read some more of these comments here. Okie dokie. So Cuphead is pretty dope. Golf Story. Yep. Mr. Farrell, I can definitely pull you up. Oh my gosh. I'm going to get a new computer, by the way. So if you saw that pop up, I'm going to get a new computer because I'm not happy with how slow it is to render or edit stuff on my old computer. Like my current computer that I'm using right now, it takes the longest time to use Premiere Pro because doing anything will just slow everything down. And I can't even use After Effects because it will just crawl to a halt. So let me just go ahead and open Mr. Farrell, go to channel, get this link. I'm sure there's a quicker way for me to get this link than doing this, but whatever. I'll do what I want. Okay, so we have Doug lined up. Let me go back to select channel. Let me go and paste this in, analyze, and we'll look at Doug. Analyze a few seconds ago. So Doug is pretty good about releasing his videos on Fridays. So sometime on Friday, I know to check for Doug's videos. It might be in the morning. It might be in the evening. It doesn't matter. It's on Friday. That's good. 100% music. Good deal. Let me look at his thumbnails. Look at this. He has Doug, blurry Doug, head cut off Doug, no Doug, Doug in the corner and up here. So, I think it's pretty good. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at these and compare them at the different sizes. So, for example, I can see Doug. I don't know who this guy is. I can see Doug, and it's kind of scary. And I know that there's a deeper story behind this that's explained in here, but I can't necessarily see that down here. There's a lot of stuff going on up here, but down here I can see keyboards, and that's about it. And then, I can definitely see Buff Shark Boy in all of these. So then here we have this where, uh, I would definitely think that we'd want to look at tags and descriptions to see why these are being associated with each other. Uh, so I know that this was kind of a vlog sort of thing, and it's not necessarily relating it to, it's just, I guess because it was about those serious topics that it's kind of relating it to these different things. So, I mean, we don't necessarily need to go deep into that. Here, of course, in Hopes and Dreams, you'd expect this all to be here. So it's just kind of, I think that I don't know how audience members would choose of different remixes and covers which one they want to listen to. Brand recognition works for those who already have a brand established, but would they necessarily look at someone else? Oh, I guess since that's dual mix, they would click on this one. This one would win automatically. I kid, only partially. Here, so like, I mean, I just have to say, like, I don't like OC remixes. Like, they definitely have this brand, stuff down pat. But like, look at this. Like, I know it's Undertale, but I have no idea what song it is because they use the same Undertale for every one that they do. Obviously, though, this says Drum Ultimum. That's probably why it's being associated, even though clearly this is not necessarily directly related to the Final Fantasy X. Now here, this one, these two are related probably because, yes, same album. Definitely check out both sides of Spira. Like, you're getting 50 tracks and it's like a steal. Like, Materia Collective's albums, guys, if you haven't bought all of them, like, it is so much music for so little money. Like, I don't know how Sebastian like pays for it all. Like, I don't think he does either. So anyways, yeah, and then we can go into rankings and we can see. So, okay, this is a serious one, so I'm not going to necessarily go into that one. Let's go into the one on Hopes and Dreams. So here is the thing. It's very competitive to try to rank for short tail tags. So for example, trying to rank just for Hopes and Dreams, you're competing with everyone who's like put Hopes and Dreams in that. Trying to compete just for Undertale, you're competing with everyone who has Undertale in a title. But if you have Undertale, Hopes and Dreams as one consolidated tag, then that might be something you can rank for. And so that's something I would play around with. Like drum set, you're never going to rank for drum set. You're never going to rank for vocals. You're never going to rank for rock cover. Now, Undertale, Hopes and Dreams, rock cover, all as one thing. The thing you have to weigh against is longer tags can be easier to rank for, but you still want to make sure that people are generally searching for those. And here's the way you can check that. If you come to, any YouTube search page or whatever, just start typing Undertale, Hopes and Dreams and see what comes up in this. This shows that this is stuff that people are already searching for. So these are the autocomplete suggestions. So what I would do is just put in that R and you see rock cover. So that's how you know that there's at least someone who's searching for that. Now, if you start typing, let me do this like this way. If you start typing and there is no suggestion, then you probably don't want to use that as a tag because no one's actually recommending that. Like here we go, got all the way to remix, but it's not really giving us any more suggestions. So I would probably want to stick with, maybe like it's not even really suggesting sax. So I mean, it suggests saxophone. So that's kind of okay. So whatever. Like I'm sure if you go jazz, jazz appears. That's why Carlos puts jazz in all of his titles. Whatever. Not all of us do jazz. Anyways, this is not about me. This is about y'all. So that is that's what I would recommend there. And if we keep on going here, so let's figure this one out. Final Fantasy X, the travel agency. So here's one thing. Like I know that I don't know enough about Final Fantasy X. That would appear in one of my games that I haven't played a lot of. Is Travel Agency the original title, or is it one of those fancy titles that people give to make it like fancy? Because I know that a lot of people in Materia Collective, they aren't sure about whether they should title their songs based off the original or whether they should give an original like new title. And the problem I think with giving a new title is that it doesn't have brand recognition. Either way, it doesn't look like this is included in the tags here. So if someone were looking for this song and they were looking for covers of it, they wouldn't be able to find it because it's not in the tags. Now, here's something that's interesting. Final Fantasy Jazz. You are ranking for this, so you're not ranking for just jazz, but you are ranking for Final Fantasy Jazz. So you could trying to aim for that and do things based off of that. Let me jump back into the chat very quickly. Yeah. So here's something I'll say about this to answer a few of these questions that have come up here. So that YouTube would say for David Russell that video tags are not as important as descriptions and titles. That descriptions and titles have more importance than tags. However, if you ask any non-YouTube related, like non-YouTube employee coach, like Roberto Blake or Tim Schmoyer or Daryl Eves, those kinds of people will still say that tags matter, but that you want to make sure that they're harmonized with the description and the title. So if you put something in the tags that is not present as well in the description, you might as well find a way to write a sentence where that tag is incorporated naturally in that description. You don't have a lot of room in your title, so you have to say what's the most important keyword to aim for that's going to be in that title. But I think that all three, tags, titles, and descriptions, I think that all three are still important. Okay, so then let's see. So that's a question from David. And then I wanted to answer something from Alex here. So I think that in an ideal world, and I looked at this with Carlos, and so he's kind of corroborated this. Let me just jump over to my analytics here. Analytics is, where is analytics? Oh, right, where it says analytics. So if I jump over to my analytics here, I should have already had this open. And then I jump over to my traffic sources. I believe that most of your traffic should be coming from, where's my traffic sources? From either search or suggested. So here we go, suggested and search, and then maybe browse features. Now, browse features is important because it has one traffic source that is mostly your subscribers and one that's mostly not. Browse features contains both the subscriptions page and the homepage. So if you're getting this homepage, you will see that, let me just look for not subscribed. That's homepage. If you're getting on the homepage, then a lot of people who are not currently subscribed to you will see your content. So that's something that is good to do, but it's not as easy to aim for the homepage. There's nothing you can really do to force that. But the ones that you can try to aim for are suggested videos and search. What YouTube does is it looks at the metadata to say, okay, what is the relationships here? And then it builds off based off of analytic data like watch time. So for example, if it sees someone watches X video and then it watches Y video, it associates those two together and then it will put them into suggested videos. It looks at people's past viewing history. So your search results are different where by user. It's different if you're signed in versus if you're signed out. So really, when you think about search results, you're trying to think about people who watch similar content as you do. How would they see you in search and suggested? Now, let me kind of go back here. Yeah, so DBNet 18 Music. So DBNet, let me say one thing. Thank you so much for the transcription. He was who made it possible for me to do my cover of Final Spice because there were some of those beats. Let me just kind of show you in MuseScore here very quickly what I did to fix this. I made some of my own touches and tweaks, but if I had to transcribe that song from scratch, like it just would not have happened. So let me show you what I did. Let me show you what I did. Oh, I think I just closed it out. I clicked the X, didn't I? Okay, whatever. I'm gonna let that load. If it doesn't want to load, it doesn't have to load. Okay, so I'm gonna get back into, well, it's already loaded. So I have all of my parts. Let me just go into here and then click all the buttons so we could see all of my fake parts. Yeah, nothing's happening until yeah, my sheet music, by the way, is garbage. Like, I don't actually like pay attention to like how things should be actually formatted. When I need to have like tempo changes and things like that, I just put it like, this. Like, that's garbage. And then look at this. I did not transcribe any of that. I just changed the instruments and like, yeah. Thanks, DBNet. So that was super helpful for me. Okay, so then other covers that I'm planning on doing. So as part of Pixel Mixers, yeah, the engraving is bad. Let's pretend this you never saw that. Let me just put XD. So other covers that I'm planning on doing, as a part of Pixel Mixers, I have committed to doing a cover for Final Fantasy VI that I haven't even started, and that's due at the end of the month. So I will probably be doing oh snaps, I can't even tell you about that because we're not supposed to release it until the entire album releases. So sometime after October, there will be a Final Fantasy VI cover. And I don't know what I'm going to be doing until then because I have to do a mad dash to actually do that Final Fantasy VI cover. I will not reveal which one I'm doing because I've probably already broken the secret rules of being in Pixel Mixers. Mr. Farrell's going to report me to Hashhold because I've revealed that now. I will not reveal any other secret projects that I may or may not be doing. What I wanted to do is I had a few other people open. So Mr. Farrell in Morningfame channel review, looky here. I sense that you're trying to set up a schedule of releasing sometime over the weekend. And that's what I tried to do when I first started. And then you saw my schedule become really crazy out of whack. But I would still say that, I mean, personally, I haven't done an in-depth analysis of whether schedule actually matters. Like, I think that people should check their subscriptions page every day and just, the best price is a surprise. And, but YouTube disagrees. YouTube says that you should have a regular upload time, a regular upload schedule. 0 to 1 videos per week. So that's pretty good. And then, so let's check this out. So I'm seeing good, consistent branding on all of these. But what I'm going to check next is the next thing it's going to show me is how does this look when it's at a smaller size. And here's where I think you're going to have some issues. So let's check this out. Yep, at the smaller sizes, I can't even tell what the game is anymore, right? So I would probably recommend, and this is really tough. Like, I haven't figured this out. Like, I'd probably say hit Insane in the Rain music up to figure this out. How to decide what to emphasize between the game cover, the game name, your own name, and then you, because it seems to me that you can't emphasize all of these. You have to choose which one is most important to you and then, live with that. Here we have this one. I can see both of you, Samates and you, and I can see P5, so that's okay. But then like this stuff in the background, I can't tell what that is anymore. Like, I can't even really tell what it is here. And I believe that the thumbnail size that shows to everyone is one of these two. So that's something. And then here we go when we get into which thumbnail you would click. So if these are all the same song, you say run, then I have to say I can't tell that. Now, again, I haven't watched the anime, so maybe like this is very obvious that that's, that. But like here, I obviously know you say run, you say run, you say run. You say run. I have no idea what's going on here, right? So that's something to think about. Here, see it like I know based off of this that this is what it is, but I can't really read that well. And it's definitely, oh wow, no, wow, it is recommending multiple videos of yours for the same thing because this is the one that it's ranking for. But then here's another one that you have. and it's lumping all of these Persona 5 ones in. This is actually pretty good then. This means that for this Persona 5, you're going to get 2 of these results here. So that's pretty good. Good job. Now, I can't necessarily read that title, and I doubt I could read that title at the size that it would be in. Let's look at ranking. So you're doing pretty good. Now, here's my fear. You're ranking first for these, but if I typed in Castlevania Vampire Killer M, would I see your name? Like, is that something that people are searching for with your name? Let's try Castlevania Vampire Killer. Nope. 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 So that's where I was saying there's a danger in over specializing, because you can rank first for this, but that people aren't necessarily searching for this. Now, I would say still keep one that has your channel name, because if all of your covers have your channel name as a tag, then YouTube knows to try to associate those together for suggested videos and things like that. But I would probably say you probably want a Castlevania 3 Vampire Killer combined, because you're not ranking for this individually, you're not ranking for this individually, but you might be able to rank for this together without the Mr. Feral. So that's something I would say. Let's see. So, like, for example, You Say Run metal cover, right? That's something that people would search for. Or My Hero Academia You Say Run metal cover. These are things that people might search for, and you're ranking pretty high for those. And you've gotten a pretty good amount of views for those. So I would say look in your analytics by this video to see which search terms were giving you that, because I would suggest that it's probably these two and not these, so that's my thought. And then what I would suggest is, if these are just in the tags but not in the description, for example, you only have the English in the description, then probably think about putting this in the description somewhere, so that YouTube associates that it's not just mentioned in the tags, it's also mentioned in the description. I've experimented that before, and I've also experimented with translating my descriptions, but my issue is that Google Translate for Japanese is garbage. So, like, I don't want, Japanese viewers to, like, look at my description and be like, this person just threw it in Google Translate. So I don't do that too much, unfortunately. Let's look at strategy. So this one, I don't know. I mean, of course, it's picking your highest videos, so it's going to give you AA, BA, AA. So good to go there. Let me jump back into here. So thanks, Doug, for joining. Reporting a hash for revealing it now. I'm looking. Looks like yeah. YouTube is very complex. YouTube is fairly complex. LOL. Okay, so now what I want to do is nope, don't want you. I wanted to go into Alex's channel. Put him in timeout. Nope. Alex's channel. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and select this channel, put him in, and analyze this channel. And then I'm going to check to see for some of these comments here. Hello, Gamer of the Winds. Welcome. I'm going to archive this probably, so that if people want, oh man, if I archive this, then I'm going to have to, like, do timestamps. That's going to be so annoying. Okay, whatever. I might archive it, and then you'll just have to watch it. So what we're doing is we're doing some channel reviews with Morningfame. As I've discussed, Morningfame will give you more information if you actually are a member. So, for example, it'll do this sort of screen, and the strategy tab will have more information on your videos, because it pulls from your YouTube analytics. So if you want Morningfame, you can get a 1 hour. No, not 1 hour. Why did I say 1 hour? You can get a 1 month, for free. And you could also click I can customize my link. Wait, no, how do I customize my actual link? Oh, can I? I'm going to talk to them about getting this, because I want it to be like something like asset or subversive, so that, like, it makes sense, but whatever. I can customize whatever. Oh, I know. I have to tell him. I have to send it to Nico. What should my support code be? I want it to be something where it's like, uh, yeah. So let me say, Morningfame used to be in beta, but now it's going into not beta. Currently, I think it's invite only. I don't know. Let me actually just do this. Morningfame. I'm signed in. This is dumb. Oh, I'm not signed in. So let me see this. Oh, and then you can look at pricing. Okay, let me do this. For $5 a monthly or $3 times per year, and then you like, oh, but it is invitation only. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna repost my invitation. You get 1 month free, and you can cancel. Not a big deal, So, and I have to say, it is super helpful. So just try it out for 1 month, and if you don't want it, you can cancel. Like, fine, whatever. And if you want, like, I mean, I can't look at all of your data for you. I can only look at the data in. Oh, have I already looked at Alex's? No, this just loaded. Okay, so, Alex is doing a good job of rocking the Friday at 12 p.m. I don't know what time zone this is. Maybe this is Central Time. So if this is like 12 Central and you're like, oh, I don't upload at 12, then it's because different time zones. A few things on Saturdays, a few things on Tuesday and Monday, but for the most part, everyone is so much better at scheduling than I am. Like, mine is just garbage. His thumbnails looking very consistent. The color scheme is consistent. The text is consistent. Now, here's the thing that I have to say about Alex's title or thumbnails that's gonna really get him. This text is good at this size, but once it gets smaller, I can't tell what's going on. Or his text is good when it's white on black, but when it's white on gray on, it doesn't work as well. So I would say if you can find a way to thicken the text, that could be very helpful. And then, I mean, obviously you're competing against people who are using the standard kind of game kind of thing with the black bars, which is like, why would you do that? But, here's one where it's all stretched out, and then here you have so you have that difference. And then, are you competing against yourself? Yes, you are. You're competing against yourself. So here's another one where you have 3 results here. So congratulations. I don't know. It doesn't tell you which search term they use for that. They just pick one of the search terms that's related to your videos and pick other videos. So it might be a search for Alex Heflin, but I'm thinking it's for Bartok, and that's how they're doing it. And you just happen to have 3 results there, which is pretty impressive. Yep. And then we have you are just kicking it out of the park in terms of West of Loathing. With a lot of these combination, like I was mentioning, the combination tags are working really well for you. Not quite getting the simple ones, but still, I think it's really good and keep some of these for the suggested video purposes. West of Loathing Acoustic, think about adding that. It's already in your title, so it would reinforce you're already ranking pretty high for that. Strategy, good. Your best videos are doing well. The thing that I don't like about this review channel service is it only shows the top videos. So this would let me know, for example, these are your top videos, do more of these, but it doesn't show you the ones that are not doing as well. So I can't tell you, for example, which ones you might want to think about not doing as much of. Whereas when you have this for yourself, Morningfame will be brutally honest to you and say, these ones suck, stop doing them. And it also looks at your playlist and says, these ones are good, keep doing those, and those are the ones that are not good, don't do those. So there you go. Let me jump back into the chat. So let me just jump. So the difference between all of these tools, Social Blade Sorry, I'm very gassy. Social Blade pulls in some public information from YouTube, and so I think that the issue is that for me, Social Blade isn't as easy to view. It isn't as easy to process information from, but technically they're pulling in similar information. Additionally, Social Blade does not have anything on the thumbnails. It does not look at tags. It does not look at anything like that. Now, these things are kind of like vidIQ and TubeBuddy. You can get TubeBuddy and vidIQ, which have free versions. TubeBuddy and vidIQ will look at your tags. They'll look at whether they're competitive. They'll look at whether they have good levels of demand. They'll look at your rankings for your tags, so you can do for that. But as you have more and more features, like they kind of ask for more and more money. So there's like a free version that lets you do a limited amount of things, and then they ask for more and more money. I still think it's kind of valuable to pay, but I mean, it's up to you to decide what level of involvement that you want. Gotham font is on the whole thin. Yes. So let me see. I'm just gonna go ahead and jump into David Russell's channel because David is in the house. Let me just go ahead and do select channel. And now it's going to save all your channels for me, if in case I wanted to look at this again. Not trying to be creepy, only I am. Okay, so that's going to probably take a long time. I haven't actually looked to see how long it takes, but whatever. Good rankings. Let me see. We are starting to lose some people. It's now only 6 people watching. I mean, that it doesn't matter. Like 6 is good for me. So I think this is going to be the last one that I do, and then I'm going to kind of close this out. Nope, don't show that. And I don't need to see that anymore. Okay, so yeah, it wasn't that bad. David Russell, David. You're kind of like me, although mine is even worse. But I see you have a couple of videos that you tried releasing on Sunday and a couple on Saturday, but there's not really a pattern. Like, I don't think it matters too much, but YouTube would say getting it all at one time and place is kind of what they want, but whatever. Thumbnail. So check this out. The thing that I think you're going to get hit on when I just scroll down is these small text here. Like at the large size, I can't read the small text. So when this gets shrunk down, I feel like you're going to have some issues there. And let's check this out. So check this out. Even the large text, like I can see date 2 consistently, but if I didn't know that it was from Kimi no Wa, like I would not know. Like I would just be hosed. First light, but what is First Light from? I have no idea. Life will change. What is it from? I know it's from P5, but I don't know from this thumbnail that it's from P5. So that's something to think about. And then here we go with the comparisons. So we have Shadowy You, and then the name of the song, versus Top Waifu. But again, I mean, I feel like I don't know what people would I don't know how people prefer to see those sorts of things. Like, do they want to see the anime character, or is that a nice to have, or is it a must to have? And then we kind of go here, First Light. Like, I don't know if I just don't know. Like, I can say that these ones that don't have anything about the title, don't have anything like these, like, yeah, I wouldn't know to click on these. But from, like here, or I think that these are the ones that I would be kind of looking into. So here you go, that sort of thing. Let me just look at this, Carlos. I mean, I didn't even need to. I needed, because I knew. But like, let me just look for these other guys. Like, I just I don't know which one I would necessarily want to click. Like, these are pretty good thumbnails here. Like, I would say, no offense to this person, I just don't know who's doing this, and it doesn't really have any information to identify them. But for example, like, oh, I know I'm gonna get sax. I know I'm gonna get guitar, and the persona guy. Family Jewels always does cool stuff like that, and of course he has this good branding here, so that's pretty cool. And then I know I'm gonna get the Romberger. Yeah, congratulations on your placings, dude. Oh, actually, how did that happen? How did that work out for you? Let me type this in. How did that work out? Oh, these copyright images. So technically, images are not image thumbnails are not in YouTube content ID. So they would need to be manually DMCA'd by the copyright owner, which I have never seen done on YouTube. Yeah, so like I would say, here's the issue. For us people doing music covers on YouTube, that's already copyright infringement. Regardless of if you're monetizing or not, like that's already copyright infringement. So if you, man, now that I've admitted this, like I'm gonna get my channel shut down, aren't I? So if you're worried about the thumbnail, like I'm sorry, like that's not the issue. That's that. I mean, I believe that in an ideal world, every composer would be registered in Content ID, and there would be revenue sharing enabled for all covers. And I believe that Sebastian can make this happen eventually. But currently, like, if you're not getting a con match, then you probably haven't negotiated a synchronization license. So you're not really paying the royalties that you should be paying. So like, I'm just saying the photo is the least of the photos are the least of your worries there. Look at this. Before I go, could I possibly review this channel? Anna, let me go ahead. This is what I gotta say. Now we're looking at your actual channel. Here's what I like to see. Monday at around, I think maybe this is 1 p.m. It doesn't let me see like granular, but I'm guessing this is a 1 p.m. If it's not, it's going to be in the morning, maybe 10 a.m. This is very good. I'd like to see this. This is what YouTube likes to see. So good job there. We're going to jump into these thumbnails. Now, here's the thing I would say about these thumbnails. Even at this large size, I'm seeing a lot of pixelation. So make sure that whenever you're doing this thumbnail that it's at least 720p. So I think that's 1280 by 720. Make sure that it's clear at that level so that when it gets, it doesn't have to, get, expanded out. It can just be scaled down. Make sure that it's clear. The light red on dark red, or black on dark red, like I'm not necessarily sure that that's kind of what you're going to want to go in terms of font. Or this light color on light color, I'm not necessarily sure that's what you're going to want to go with there. Pay attention to the thickness of the fonts. For example, like here I can barely tell that there's text here, so that's something I would say there. Then here, when we get to the resizing, this epiphany is, I can't tell what that is. It's all me. It's kind of blurry here, and then I can't even tell what's here. Say yes to this. This kind of cursive font here, I don't think that it's gonna work. Even though I understand that you're trying to capture the feel of the mixtape, but I just, from a thumbnail perspective, I'm not sure if that's doing you what you want it to do. So here, let's see. We're gonna probably want to look at on this ranking tab to see what tags are here, because it's pulling a lot of different things here. You have some things with the other mixtapes, and these here, the thing I could say that's good for you is I know which song it's going to be, whereas here it's not very clear to this. They would have to look at the title. So that's something I would say I would not use this font probably, but I can say that it is clearer than these other ones. And then we have the one thing I would say is I cannot really speak about original compositions because my experience with covers is that it's very easy to know how you can brand those covers and how you can use titles, tags, and descriptions to use things that people are already familiar with. Whereas with original compositions and things like that, I would just say that the trouble is that there people may not be searching for that original new title, that sort of thing. So go back here. Like I think that this is a good idea. People who are searching for the Homestuck ancestors, they might be interested into an original music number based off of that. I think that that's a good idea, but it's still very tricky. Still very tricky here. So I think that there's a little more room for experimentation here. You're doing good jobs of getting your videos associated with each other based off of your name, but I'm not necessarily sure of how many people will be searching for your name versus some of these other things. So I think that's something should keep on considering. So here, like I would say Hamilton, that's still too broad. You'd be competing with so many people, so you probably want to have compound tags. So for example, Hamilton mixtape, say yes to this cover, right? Or say yes to this mixtape, like things like hear what you have in your title. See, like let me just check this out. So Hamilton mixtape. Okay, so we can see it's all one word. Say, so already this is people would search for all of this, right? Cover. So no one's really searching for covers apparently. I mean, it's not really showing up. Remix maybe. Let's try say yes to this remix. This is weird. Say yes to racism. I don't even want to see what that is. Remix. See, this is really tough. There's not a lot of people searching for covers of this, it appears. Let me just look up Hamilton mixtape cover. See, yeah, there's not a lot. And this is the struggle that I also have. So, I mean, this is something that I have too. Sometimes you want to do a particular song, and it's just people aren't really searching for that. So I would suggest maybe try to find other fan communities that are interested in that, and then try to promote that directly. Although promoting in some places can be very difficult because people are very suspicious of promotion. And then here you go. The best videos are doing pretty well. I would definitely leverage your covers to advertise for your originals because people are going to be looking at the covers definitely. And then if you can link in a card or link in the description to a thematically related original, then that's how you can build that traffic. Now, where's my live? Here we go. So unless, oops, let me just scroll down. Okay, so, okay. I would say don't make thumbnails in iMovie. And then you don't have that issue. Ta-da! Like I make my thumbnails in Photoshop, but before I had Photoshop, I used GIMP, which is free, but not as featured as Photoshop. So like and there's like other free tools. Like I don't even know all the free tools, but like there's tools that you can use either online or for free downloads that will like pull out the background very quickly. You can do that in Photoshop too, but my understanding is that there's some really cool software that you can get that will do that for free. So that's something where it's like if you want but you don't want the background, there's some tools that can help you do that pretty quickly. You're not going to get traffic via YouTube organically unless you have a following. If for original music, I agree, Alex, but that's why I think doing those covers, you can get traffic. It's just making sure that you're doing covers that people are searching for, and then getting people to subscribe, and then they follow along for the original work. So I agree. Just trying to get search traffic for original, probably not the best strategy. But if you're doing a mix, then that might be a good strategy here. Kirby Waluigi mashup. Let me just add that to my notes to do. Now, the last one that I want to do, because it's like we've been doing this for way too long, I think. I mean, maybe not. Maybe people want to stay on forever. And I don't even know if Pekka's still on here, but I'm just gonna do hit. He has I think he originally tried to do something on Tuesday. These are his older videos, but then over time he fell off the wagon of scheduling. So I mean, obviously I don't schedule very regularly, so I have no room to talk, but again, YouTube would recommend scheduling things consistently. Here we go. The thing that I would say is he has this thing where he has his piano and it's like a top-down approach that I think is really cool. And then it, kind of shows his hands, that sort of thing. I think that's fairly cool, but I'm not necessarily sure if that's enough to be a distinguishing brand kind of signal, because like there's lots of piano players and anyone could kind of do that. And I mean, sorry, very gassy. If like you didn't know that his hands, these were his hands, and like, would that really differentiate himself with other people? Like, I'm not really sure. Here we go. Like, the thing with showing all these instruments is when you get at this size, now I can tell there's a red kind of blur blob, and then there's some of this, and then I don't know what this is, I don't know what this is, that sort of thing. And again, with the text, it looks good here, but it's thin enough that when it gets down to the smaller sizes, that the detail is very hard to tell. This Moonstruck Blossom, I actually like this pretty well. My issue is that at the smaller size, I can tell that it's Kirby Triple Deluxe. I can't necessarily tell that it's Moonstruck Blossom. I can tell at large sizes this is Sadness and Sorrow. At small sizes, I can't really tell. Again, I don't think that YouTube uses this small thumbnail at a lot of places. I think it uses either 2 or 3. And here, I think this is at the edge of being readable. This Metroid is probably this is a better idea. Like it gets a little tough to read here, but it's still pretty readable here. And then when we compare, these were the 2 collaborations you did. So this, I'm pretty sure it's pulling off of, I mean, it looks like it's pulling off of Samathes, because there's 3 of them and they're not like related. Like Persona 5 is not related to these 2, but whatever. But I would say if the text were different on this, I think I would like this one the best. This one, I think that it's just too split up. The text is better, but it's too split up image wise. And I think like it's really tough when you have a full band to focus on everyone. And I haven't really figured out how to do that fully. But if you figure it out, then let us all know. Haha, here's my thumbnail. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, so I like your thumb. I mean, I think that at this size, I think your thumbnail is pretty good. I would definitely click on mine though, because I'm biased. Here, oh look, we both ranked here. And this is where I think that your piano thing could be good branding, because like you can easily tell both of these are yours because of this. As mentioned though, at smaller sizes, the Sadness and Sorrow is not going to be as readable. Here clearly it's you. I think that this is a good brand for you, because I can definitely tell from this kind of, like, most people do this, right? But I can definitely tell from this top-down approach that it's you. And I think that could be something you could work in. You're definitely doing a good job at ranking for yourselves. And this is a good one. Now what I would do is I'd probably build on this by having more like dash cover to see if you could rank for that. Now, just doing this, like, first of all, who's searching just for the term piano solo? Second of all, who would be searching for Final Fantasy 13-2 looking for a piano solo? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's what people are going to be searching for. I would experiment with seeing if you like do run cover if you're able to rank for that. And then there's Ian Martin, who apparently, Ian Martin space, you rank first, and Ian Martin no space, you also rank first. So good job. Here you go. You've been doing really good with this Moonstruck Blossom. What I would do is here, Moonstruck Blossom cover, good. Kirby Moonstruck Blossom theme. Maybe try Kirby Moonstruck Blossom cover to see if you can get something where it's above that 21. But this is still pretty good. Now, what I would also do is probably say a variant of this with jazz, because you're getting Kirby jazz and you're getting Moonstruck Blossom, but you don't have Kirby Moonstruck Blossom jazz. You know what I mean? Like, is that something that people are searching for? Let me just check. Kirby, oops, sorry. Moonstruck Blossom jazz. No one is searching for that. Okay, never mind. Oh, yeah, I guess some people are searching for it just on its own. Whatever. Whatever. Okay. Let me go back to read some of these things. I will not comment on Vaporwave. I saw in one of those thumbnails there was Vaporwave and there was also Nightcore. And let's say in the list of copyright things that will get you in trouble, thumbnails using copyrighted image, definitely not worried about that. Cover songs, not worried about that, because typically they're going to try to get in Content ID and do revenue. They're going to take the revenue instead of doing a DMCA takedown. But when we get into using the actual audio, whether it is a sample or it's a Nightcore or it's a, Vaporwave or something like that, I feel like that's like dangerous territory. Piano branding, where you put your mic or where you put your camera. Yeah, not mic, camera. I see it. I made that same mistake. Now he's a piano man. Yeah. Can we collectively decide to kill Nightcore? You know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to start releasing Nightcore versions of all of my covers so that no one else can do it for me. And then I'm going to also dual mix those with the original song in Nightcore and get 1 million views. And with that, I think I'm done. You may all have nightmares forever. Bye.